Good afternoon. Welcome back to Wow Expression. Thank you for joining us. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our conversation.
Thank you, Sharon. So, welcome back. I'm Delia. So, as Sharon said, let's have a conversation.
Hi, I'm Nadine. Thanks for joining us again, and we hope we light up your day.
Hi everyone, welcome back again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'm Anna. Hope you enjoy our conversation today. Go.
Hi, girls. Remember my friend Natasha?
The tall one with the curly hair?
The brown skin kind of one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She changed jobs again. Remember, I told you all a
Again?
few ago that she just got this new job, her so-called ideal job that she always wanted.
Uh huh.
And she called me just now, crying and in a mess. How she will support her children and this and that. I said, but you really need to take stock of what you're doing, because to me, there's a
That
saying the
job,
old
did you say like that job was like her perfect job and she could travel
I
to
told
yeah,
it? Yeah.
what the old people, a rolling stone gathers no moss, and you continually switch jobs, and I just didn't understand. And I think that anytime a little challenge appears, she just ups and lose it and leave, and then she crying and carrying on. And I really think she's getting in her own way, because she's well qualified,
Yeah.
she's capable, and it's just a matter of settling down and getting your act together.
Nadine, I think what you said there is critical that she may be getting in her own way. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a critical point
So,
right there.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
this, go ahead, Nadine. Sorry.
no, but when you say get in your own way, is it the possibility that she can't really accept that she can be successful, or she feels a certain sense of her own, when somebody don't have a high self-esteem and they're afraid of really becoming successful, she has all the characteristics or all the things that she needs to be a success in her job, a success in her life, but there seems to be something that is blocking her path. I don't know if it's the people she's associating with, or how she feels that her life is going. I just can't really put a finger on it. And sometimes you
Hmm.
never know, you are the own obstacle in your life for success. Little things you do, you bring down your own self, and you don't realize that you have the world is your oyster, and that you have all the success that you need in your hands. Granted, there are things that can block you, that turn up, but sometimes just your own anger, bitterness, inability to forgive prevents you from moving forward in your life. Sharon, what do you think?
I agree. And something you've said is you identify as bitterness. And bitterness sometimes is caused by hurt. You may have gone through a situation where you felt hurt at the point in time. But then that feeling of hurt stays and it festers. It forms cancerous effect in your body. And when you don't address the hurt, it can actually develop into bitterness. And it will affect every area of your life. So nothing you do will be successful. You will not be able to identify, to deal with issues that come up. So it's important that when things come up in our lives, that we do not hold on to it. Because all that does is cause us to be bitter. And
And
when
it,
we are bitter, we spew. If you can imagine drinking a bitter drink, if you can imagine tasting something as bitter, what do
Right.
you do when it tastes a bitter taste? You immediately want to get rid of that taste in your mouth. So it's
yeah.
important that when something happens, we address it and not allow it to take over our lives, because nobody wants to be around a bitter person. If you're around somebody who's constantly bitter, whether it's a professional environment or your relationships, you won't be comfortable. So it's important for us to, as individuals, when we recognize we've been hurt, it's okay. We deal with it. Don't allow it to form bitterness, because no good will come out of it. And nobody wants to associate or to be around someone who's always spewing anger and bitterness. It's not a good place to be as a person.
And
Definitely.
after what you said, Sharon, I think it's a matter of letting go. When you hold on to that bitterness, it manifests in your behavior and how you your outlook on life, your outlook at
Correct.
job, your outlook on how you deal with people. What do you think, Delia?
And I think, listening to that, right? And from what you have, what we have spoken about, I think fear might be a factor, that sometimes in terms of getting in our own way, some of us may be afraid, right? So as you said, we might self-sabotage, right? I think I read somewhere that fear is like false events appearing real or something like that. So you have a notion of something that is not based in truth, and that is like a blockage to you. So instead of going forward and conquering and whatever, you're like, nah, you perhaps maybe not actively say I'm scared, but your behavior, which might be, like, I don't want to be on this job anymore because it might require me to really stand up to do more. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be uncomfortable. And what I have learned in life is that growth comes with discomfort.
Yeah.
You can never really become unless there's some level of discomfort, because it forces you to like think outside the box and be creative and innovative, definitely when you are uncomfortable. Because if you're comfortable, you're not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A way to conquer fear is, some steps you might be able to take is make a promise to yourself. Write down, set some goals, and when you reach, let's say you have a short-term goal, a medium-term goal, or long-term goal, when you reach this particular goal, give yourself congratulations. Give
Right.
yourself
Correct.
actually reaching this point. And anytime you feel a setback is about to happen, you can stop and refocus. You could have your little cheat sheet on your phone with your goals that you were planning to make. And if you analyze yourself and you look at your own patterns and you feel yourself freezing up and you feel yourself stopping, you can stop, reassess, and check your goals and your how you feel, and ask yourself, is it my attitude that is preventing me from progressing?
Yeah.
Is it how I deal with others preventing me from going forward in my job, or even in actually getting out of your own way? Can also be in relationships. We so much on finding a partner, but in life we have so many patterns, and you end up in relationships that are not good for you. And sometimes the common denominator is it's the people who you're choosing because
I know, definitely. What is like, we have this way where we externalize, right? Like everything that is bad in my life will not go in how I want it to go. It's about the other, right?
The other, yeah.
You know,
We don't do the
I mean,
introspection.
sometimes people impact you, definitely. We're not saying no. But basically, in terms of when you are in your own way, what is required is for one to really step back and look at themselves, right? And, additionally, I was thinking a lot of people are angry. They are so angry, and it comes out in their attitudes. You tell them a simple A, I feel like, whoa,
Yeah.
and who the hell wants to be around someone like that? None of there's anything wrong with anger, because the Bible says, be angry and sin not. Anger is a powerful force for
Emotion.
change.
Yeah.
But we, most people haven't learned to be constructive with their anger. They hold it inside of them and it explodes. And I mean, who wants to be working in an environment where someone is like that, volatile? So there are things where you have to check yourself and really see, how am I really showing up in this space?
But one thing, you're talking about anger, and Sharon, you were saying fear and stuff. But sometimes we don't even listen to the people around us. And I really believe in this. I'm not sure if you could call it a theory, or a lot of times people used to say 100 horsemen can't be wrong. Now, if you are, everybody's telling you need to check your anger, you need to stop being afraid, you need to set your goals, and you're hearing these theories or people saying these things to you, I really believe that, you know, in like, for example, a few months ago, a few people literally in 1 month, my mother said it to me, why are you always flying off the handle like that? And my daughter was like, Mommy, I can't talk to you now. You always said vexed about something. Or, you know, 100 horsemen can't be brought. If everybody keeps telling you the same thing, you need
Well,
to.
I mean, that is an interesting thing, and I kind of get that. But you have to be careful not taking these things to the extreme, because guess what? 100 horsemen can be wrong, because you know sometimes you may have a vision that has been downloaded in you, and other people don't get it yet. It makes no sense to them, so they're like, what are you doing, blah blah blah. Like, people who are innovators and leaders, oftentimes they are told that, you know, they should not and they couldn't, you know, and all of those negative things. So yes, sometimes when you see a pattern is an indication of something, but we also have to be mindful as well, especially when you are operating in your highest self, right? That when you go out on a limb, it's not necessarily that everybody else is correct and you are wrong. So, you know, maybe balance. And Anna, like, what do you think in terms of, you know, like a lot of people carrying unforgiveness? Because I know that's something you and I talk about all the time.
And that is true. I mean, people carry their burdens. They remember, they could tell you the story when they were 5 years old, and their mother beat them for thieving the 10 cents. And like the 60s, and they can't let that go.
Yes.
They reach 7 years old and they remember when the teacher beat them for copying. They can't let that go. So all the negative emotions, they just carry and carry. Exactly. All through life, just holding on to things and making a big thing about us, things that's no longer important. But what people tend to do is like make that who they are. They hold on to that pain and that anger and that
they become revengeful.
bitterness, and they allow that to be who they are. So when people look at them, it's like, I don't want to talk to that girl. No, she always upset. She always angry. She always has something negative to say. And nobody teaches her, just let it go. Just forgive. Forget. And most of the times you're forgiving is not for the person, it's for yourself. So allow yourself to heal. So if you hold one thing and you say, okay, you know what, let me see if I can let this one thing go, and deal with it, internalize it, and cry about it, or whatever you want to do, and let it go, and continue to do every little thing. Every time something comes up that hurts you or pains you, deal with it. I'm not saying to push it under a table or whatever. Deal with it, but realize that is not who you are. That's just something that happened to you, but that doesn't mean that you have to let it go. Exactly. So forgive and just let it go. And that would work.
Don't you all find when you forgive someone, you feel, as a person, you feel lighter, you feel better about yourself?
Of course. Yeah. So just let the shit go. You know what I mean? Nobody wants your story about when you were 3 years old and your grandfather beat you.
We have empathy for you. We have empathy for you. But but
it's okay. Now you are 40 years old, so let it go now. You know what I mean?
And it's not work if it's not working for you.
You was born and you were 2 years old and you stop getting attention. I've heard people talk about that.
Exactly. Yeah. They just carry it too far.
You're definitely getting in yourself. And from what Anna is saying, what I am feeling, it's emergent for me, is that you are this beautiful soul, right? Beautiful soul. Perfect representation of the divine. And events have happened in your life, and you have taken on belief systems like covering the soul and hiding the soul. So what's showing up now is not even you. It's not the truth of who you are, but this is what people are responding to. You understand? And even you, to a certain level, and you are in your own way. You are not allowing the beauty of who you are to emerge. And when it emerges, for you to become that human being that you were meant to be.
That's amazing, Delia. It's almost like you have to think of yourself as an onion. And your soul is covered by fear, it's covered by anxiety, it's covered by bitterness, and it's all baggage. And when you feel like these things are affecting you, you need to peel back each layer and remember your outcomes. Remember what is important to you. Remember to take time out from the frustration and meditate, and stop comparing yourself to people who haven't walked in your own shoes, who haven't been in your situation. Because a lot of the times when you compare, you just get frustrated and you get in your own way. A good thing to do is also pat yourself on the back when you feel like you have accomplished something. You know, when you do that, you don't, sometimes you expect people to see what you have done, to give you kudos for what you have done, and they don't. So you have to do it for yourself so you can emerge and self-actualize to what you want to be.
Yeah, this sounds like radical self-care. You know what I mean? The antidote for being in your own way is radical self-care, where you look at all the fissures in your life, areas where you hold bitterness, where you hold anger, where you have fear, where you have unforgiveness. And the antidote is really radical self-care.
And being in your own way is you just self-sabotaging your success in business, success at the job, success in relationships, be it with your partner and your friends, success with your children. I'm not saying that you can't make mistakes. The important thing is when you do make a mistake, you stop and you learn from it. The bad thing is when you make a mistake and you get nothing from it. Then what really is going to happen is that you're going to make those same mistakes over and over. And if you look at your patterns, that is what is causing it. You have not stopped, assessed, and learned, okay, what caused this to happen? How to do this differently. You understand what I'm saying, Delia?
Yeah.
And
you know what I'm thinking, Nadine? I'm also thinking that when we go through situations, when we face situations that may hurt us, because our feelings are real. So when we face a situation that might be hurtful to us, it might be a good practice to acknowledge the hurt. Maybe write down the experience, write down how you felt about the situation. And by writing it down, you're getting it out of your system. Find ways to, because we can't just say, okay, we were hurt over the situation, get over it. It's not as easy for some persons. So it might be just find a habit, do things that will help you to get over your pain. If it's writing it down, talking to a friend, seeking counsel, do something that will address the issue. Correct? Exactly. Exactly.
I know. Every time we have a conversation, I am always reminded of the strength of having good connections, right? So it's like a lot of, and in that strength of that connection, there has to be a certain amount of authenticity. So guys, if I am getting in my own way, I need you to tell me, Delia,
you're getting in your own way. Yeah.
You're
getting in your own way.
That also leads to, if you're getting in your own way, sometimes we haven't looked at, do you surround yourself with people with your own, who wants to get forward in life? Or are you surrounding yourself with negative and toxic people?
Right.
That is another way you can look at it.
Those people reinforce the negatives. Yeah,
exactly. That's a recipe for disaster.
But guys, you all have to remember too, if that is your attitude and that's what you believe, I mean, that's the people that you're going to attract to you all the time. So if you are self-sabotaging because of anger or bitterness or whatever, you're going to attract people to you who have that same story and who would reinforce that belief.
I don't know, because sometimes, I'm not necessarily sure that you attract exactly, if I'm angry, I'm going to attract an angry person, because I believe the universe in its perfect love will bring to you people who will kind of show you, hey, this is not the optimal way to go. because the universe is always working for our good. It's always in the
But
process.
yes,
We
and
have to be
sometimes
open
it's to
enough.
show you, and sometimes it's to show you, look how angry you are. You just meet somebody who's even more angry than you, and maybe that will stop you. You know what I
But
mean?
then also, Anna, we have to be open. We have to accept when support is given, because if we don't
And
have an open
that is the
mind,
thing. Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, a lot of people don't even recognize that this what they're showing out is anger. They're thinking it's normal. They're
Right.
not thinking that it's anything wrong. They're thinking that, this is just who I am, and it's either you love me or you don't, and whatever. They're not seeing that they need help or they need healing or they need to forgive. They're not seeing that. So you have to be able, you really have, according to Delia, this is real, deep down self, empathy that you have to work on here, because you wouldn't recognize that in yourself if you don't have people around you saying, no, you are angry. No, you are angry. No, you are angry. So you have to actually be paying attention. And if you're not paying attention, you're not going to see, So,
I really think that anger, as we talked about the onion, you need to peel off and you need to get rid of.
yeah.
And you also need to surround yourself, which I think is very important, with people with a vision. And not everybody will believe in your vision. At one point, they thought the world was flat, and that was bugs.
I still believe you were flat.
Oh my God,
Anna, please,
no!
Anna,
We have
Anna,
a
please.
platform! No!
It's a
Science!
conspiracy.
Aye. Right? That is for another discussion, right? We have to have a
Yes.
the earth flat.
Yes.
We know what side we are on, right, Nadine?
Yes, I know. In everything, you should be able to have a source. I am telling you that there are people who are there who just want to out your light. You have an inner light, and you need to recognize when people are not happy with themselves and they find you shouldn't be happy. So anything you come up with, they have a negativity, and they're just trying to throw water on your fire. That's all that it is. Sometimes people are not happy in themselves and they want to make others unhappy. And sometimes you need to recognize that.
Boy, do I have experience of that. That's for another time as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for true.
Wow.
I mean, with these conversations, we could really go on and on and on and on. But, we have to cut
We
our
only
time
have a
short,
little
people.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you,
wow.
girls. Love you. We'll chat later.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Okay, see you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Hope you all had a beautiful conversation. Hope to see you next time. Bye.
Right. That was such a wonderful conversation. Wow. Listen, you might be in your own way. Okay. So we'll see you next time when we have another conversation.
Thank you guys for joining us again. We hope you've enjoyed our conversation, and we look forward to our next podcast. Please join us again. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for joining us. And I would like to say to remember to subscribe, make a comment, and even send us an email. And remember, girls, get out of your own damn way.
Exactly. Bye.
Bye.